Maybe just you all, thank you, Minister, friends, colleagues. This is an important gathering. The adoption of the justice reform represents a moment in time that started a new era for rule of law in Albania. It is one of the most important steps taken by the country in the 30 years since the fall of the dictatorship. It marked a decisive start for a modern and European Albania. That moment deserves today to be remembered. Adopting the reform took courage, trust, hard work and strong commitment. The implementation phase in these 5 years has brought the acknowledgement of the complexity of the reform. Its implementation has not been easy, has not been perfect. But these 5 years has brought us also the conviction about the necessity of this reform. It is essential for Albania to move forward away from its past towards a European future. The period of implementation has also confirmed to us all that when Albania and Albanians work together and unite forces, all is possible. When there is a will, there is a way. Putting the reform into practice has been hard, particularly so because it is fight against impunity. It's fight to regain public trust, and most importantly, fight to re-establish integrity as a core value. An effective implementation requires follow-up, commitment, engagement, and intensified dialogue. It requires strength to go on when there are some who are unwilling to cooperate or to be constructive. Implementation requires strength, sometimes pragmatism. It requires certainly resilience, competence, and leadership. Resilience means standing up and trying again when the formula does not immediately meet the huge expectations. Competence is the ability and drive to apply the highest EU standards possible. Leadership implies enhanced coordination, cooperation, and ability to reach a sustainable agreement, choosing the right advice at the right time with a solution and cooperation-minded attitude for the success of the reform. Let me therefore take the occasion today to ask for more resilience, more cooperation and consultation, and more leadership from all sides of the political spectrum, for all justice institutions and from civil society and academia. The ongoing work on the efficiency of the judiciary is, in my view, the priority of priorities, focusing on delivering on the basic expectation of the citizens, efficiently delivering justice. It is then important to secure some of the greatest gains of the justice reform, independence and integrity of the justice systems in the next months when some of the new institutions will be renovated. We consider that the main objective for the next 4 years is to work even harder to close and seal the implementation of the reform. The new parliament in September will have important responsibility and will be scrutinized on their engagement. After 5 years and at the end of the first cross-sector justice strategy, we find ourselves now in a pivotal moment. The constitutional and legal basis is in place, the institutional framework is complete, and the first result in the fight against impunity and corruption have been achieved. The new second justice strategy that we discussed today must take the reform to the next steps. Its goal of the approximation of the Albanian justice system with the best European standards in all its aspects. The strategy is a tool to this end, an important tool of coordination and cooperation on the next steps for the justice reform. It is encouraging and rewarding to see today around the table all the main players engage in the planning for the future. It is a good way to mark the anniversary of such an important reform for Albania. Justice reform remains one of the top priorities for the EU and its member states in Albania. The EU and its member states' investment in the sector speaks louder than words in this regard. We have supported justice reform at all levels, in all forms, and with considerable financial engagement, up to 50 million euros so far, and another 9 million euro are coming. We will not stop doing so because we want to see Albania closer to the EU. Bringing Albania closer to EU has been my personal commitment since day one and will be until I leave. Visa liberalization back in 2010 opened one door. Justice reform has highly contributed to open another door last year with the decision of opening negotiation, and I hope that the main door of starting accession talk will open very soon. Let me conclude by thanking all the authorities present today and those who are not here but they were instrumental to the adoption of the reform. Thank you very much for working so hard for the just European Albania that so many Albanians want. Shumë faleminderit.